everybody. We are doing some Pilates this evening, so I hope you had a great day. And let's see, if you have yoga blocks, great, you can use those. If you have a strap, you might want to use that. I think I've said in other, well, I haven't done a ton of these, so you can also use a kitchen towel or like just a long sock. Literally anything that you can put over a foot to pull in for a stretch, and you'll maybe just need this a couple times. Also, if you don't have a yoga block, you can use a pillow. We're going to use this for a few different things, maybe. You can use a pillow. You can also use a rolled up towel, so any of those are an option. And let's go ahead and get started. So find yourself in a comfortable position lying down. And if you have a mat or something, that's always kind of nice. And I want you to just stretch out your entire body. So we're going to take a second just to really think about lengthening the body, lengthening your spine. So imagine from the crown of your head all the way down to your tailbone. And I want you to reach your arms long across the room and then your legs long across the other direction. Drop your chin slightly toward your chest, and that's going to elongate the back of the neck. And then really imagine as if somebody's pulling you from either end, and we're getting more space between each vertebra. Take the right side of your body. You're going to reach really long through that side. Again, just increasing the length between the ribs and the hips. Take a breath here and then reach through the left side. Same thing, really thinking about lengthening between the ribs and hip bones. And one more time, lengthen through both. Resettling your pelvis in center. Take those arms down and around, and we're just going to rest them for a moment on the rib cage. And once you're here, I want you to take a few nice big inhales and exhales. So inhale in through your nose. Feel your rib cage expanding side and side. And then exhale out through either your mouth or your nose. You choose. Couple more big breaths. Imagining your lungs filling up like balloons. And as you press the air out, it's like you're deflating from the base of your lungs all the way up. 2 more big inhales and exhales. Really allowing your shoulders to melt down into the ground. And one more breath. And next I want you to slide your hands down, and you can place them on your hips. And we're just going to do a little bit of mobilization through our low back and through our pelvis. If you want to look, I want you to imagine like your pelvis is a triangle. And your 2 hip bones are one side of that, and then your pubic bone is the other side. And we're going to imagine just tipping the pubic bone up toward the sky and then pressing it back down, or pressing your tailbone back down into the ground. So you're going to feel this kind of tucking and then pressing with the back. So taking an inhale to prepare, and then as you exhale, imagine scooping the tailbone under, and your tailbone and your pubic bone pulling up, and then inhale, you're going to press your tail back into the floor, encouraging an arch in the spine. We're going to do that a few more times, so just lying down here. We're going to keep the legs straight, and just finding your own mobilization through the pelvis. Try to move evenly through both of your hip bones. So watch out that you don't pull one side a little bit. And depending if you have really tight hip flexors or you have one side that's maybe feeling a little shortened, that might happen. So just encouraging both sides to move evenly. And then find center, so find a neutral space. And what we're going to look for is a little neutral spine, and normally what will happen is, depending on the shape of your back, you'll have a small space in your low back. So that space is just slightly away from the floor. Not super arched, but also not totally hollowed out. We're going to bend those knees, place your feet on the floor, and try to keep your neutral spine. Often what happens here is that our back wants to automatically push flat into the floor. So if you push into your feet, your back will kind of push flat. And we're looking to keep that space and keep the front of the body really long all the way out the pubic bone. And now we're going to move back to those little pelvis rocks. So taking an exhale, rocking the pelvis, rounding out the back, imagining your tail coming up and your pubic bone going to the sky. And then press the tailbone back into the ground and encourage the pelvis to be flat. 2 more. We're going to rock, drawing the navel to the spine as you rock, and finding that connection here. And a little rock, and coming back, pressing into that arch. Now we're going to take a circle. So your pelvis is kind of doing this circular motion. You're going to push into the right side. So imagine your pelvis is tipping over to the right, and then you're going to find that tucked position, find center in the tucked position, press the left hip bone down, and then press your tailbone down. We're going to do that again, so we're circling around to the right. And as you do this, I just noticed with myself, I want you to try to keep your knees still. So it might make your movement a little bit smaller, and that is okay. And go ahead and reverse that circle going the other way. Again, we're just mobilizing the pelvis here. Seeing how much you can press into each side as you go. One more circle. And then find center with your pelvis. So you should have a small neutral back. Reach your arms up overhead. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, we're going to press those arms, just pressing them as if you're pushing through mud or peanut butter all the way down toward the floor. We're going to do that a few times, just mobilizing the arms. Inhale, reach, 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 as if you're trying to touch your ceiling. Exhale, reach and press. You're pushing down on springs. Find the engagement through the rib cage as well as you push here. Inhale, reaching up and back. Keeping your own, we're finding our own resistance here. And inhale, bring those arms overhead. With our next exhale, we're going to work on a scoop or a curl. So as we exhale, we're going to begin to curl the crown of the head up off the floor, or the back of the head up off the floor. Imagine leading with the crown of the head, slowly peeling yourself up one vertebra at a time. And we're going to press the arms down here. And just pausing for a moment, so keep breathing. Try to relax your neck. Maybe move your head side and side. Relax those shoulders down out of the ears. Keep reaching front. And while you're here, I want you to imagine drawing your navel down toward your spine. And we should feel this kind of scooping motion with the belly. So the navel's pulling in and back, and it's connecting our core muscles. It's going to really strengthen this position. Make sure you keep breathing here, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then taking an inhale, let's return it back down, arms reaching overhead. We're just going to do a few curls here like that. Imagine as you curl up, exhaling and rolling and peeling, that your upper body's moving with your arms. You only barely reach the top of the curl as the arms reach the bottom. Inhale, release. Exhale, curling up. As we curl, we're working on that scooping position. We're really trying to find some rhythm with the body. So moving everything together. So nothing is finishing before the next. And back down. And one more here. Inhale. Exhale, curling it up, rolling one vertebra at a time. And back down. Good, we're going to bring our right hand down by our hip and keep your left arm up. Now on this next one, we're going to work on a diagonal curl, so a side curl. What's going to happen is you're going to engage and shorten in one side of the obliques, and then the other side is lengthening. So we're finding this lift up and over. And everybody, just for a moment, place your hands on your pelvis. I want you to think of anchoring your pelvis. So imagine that it's sitting in concrete right now. Don't let the hip that you're curling away from, try to really think about stabilizing it down on the ground. So watch out that it doesn't lift or roll. One way you'll be able to tell is if you notice your knees rocking. Something you can do just to help engage those muscles is take your block or your towel, squeeze it between the knees, or a pillow, whatever works. So squeeze that between the knees. That's going to help engage our pelvic floor muscles here just a little bit more. So I'll show you that there. I'm going to show this at a couple of angles as well so you can kind of see, but we've got our right arm reached down by our hip, our left arm up by our ear. Take an inhale. As you exhale, you're going to reach up, and I want you to imagine curling up and forward toward that right knee, bringing the hand to the opposite side. We're going to reach through that right arm, and then inhale, you're going to slowly lower that back down. We're going to do that a few more times. Exhale, curling it up. Inhale, lowering it down. You're stabilizing through the pelvis, keeping the left side really pressed down into the mat. And inhale down. We've got 3 more here. I'm going to just change my angle so you can see me differently. Exhale, curl. And inhale down. And last 2. And down. Finding that scoop of the belly. Last one. And down. We're trading sides right away. Left hand down by the hip. Right arm overhead. Inhale. Exhale. Rolling up. Starting with the crown of the head. Carrying it up. Reaching through your left fingers. And inhale. Coming back down. It's like a big alligator. Squish. Exhale. Curling up. And inhale down. Couple more. Exhale to curl. You might notice I'm going to have a little buddy in a second. Maybe. Inhale down. Last 2. We curl it up. And down. And last one. Really use your breath here. The breath is just as important as the movement. So finding your breath really allows us to tune into our body as well. You can keep the block in your knees or you can remove it. Up to you. I'm going to keep it. I think it adds a little bit more engagement through the inner thighs and the pelvic floor. So you're going to take your feet and step them just a little bit closer to your hip bones. Your hands are going to go down by your side. Head is straight on, and we're going to roll and peel our hips up one vertebra at a time. So imagine the tuck of the pelvis. The pelvis tucks, and we begin to roll the hips up. If you've got a block or something between the knees, squeeze in on that block. Hips up to the sky, feel the ribs close. Inhale, and then exhale, starting at the top of the spine, rolling back down. And as you roll down, I want you to imagine there's something pressing you from the top all the way down. Tailbone comes to the floor. Find the neutral space. Inhale and exhale. Roll it back up. We should start to feel this engagement through the glutes and the hamstrings. If you're squeezing in on something, feeling the inner thighs. And then as we reach the top, we want to find the opposition with the abdominal muscles pulling us down. So we're using the front body to help us here as we roll one vertebra at a time. We're going to do that just 2 more times. Exhale, peel, rolling up. You can push into the floor here with those hands to help you as you curl and roll. Inhale at the top. Exhale, peel and roll back down. Try to relax your shoulders out of your ears. Relax the back of your neck. And last one, exhale, peel and roll. Squeezing in on that block, inhale, and exhale, peel and roll back down. 2, 3, and 4. Good. You can take that block out of the knees. Hug the knees into the chest for a moment. And then we're going to move into some hundreds. So hundreds, I'm going to talk about the breath really quick. You're going to inhale in through your nose through short little bursts. So you're going like you're sniffing something at your house, yeah? I don't know who sniffs like that, but maybe you have like a delicious cake in the oven. I hope you do, for my sake. You can send me a piece. Then you're going to exhale out through your mouth. And that's like you're blowing out birthday candles, yeah? So you're going in through the nose, out through the mouth. It's 5 quick inhales through your nose, 5 quick exhales through your mouth. Kiwi's a pro champion at it. As we do this, if you're finding that it's really tough to keep your body lifted, you can actually lower your head back down on the floor, or you can take that rolled towel, place it behind your neck, and you'll still be in a small scoop with the abdominal muscles. Either way, we're thinking of the scoop. So imagine an ice cream scoop, yeah? Let's go ahead and lie it down. Feet can be in a variety of positions. Number 1, start with them on the floor. This is our most basic position. This is going to be the most supported. Number 2, we can take those legs up to tabletop position. So we want to think knees above hips and toes straight out, like you're making a little table with your legs. Number 3, a little bit tougher, we're going to take those legs up to the sky. What I want you to do is start in the easiest position, and then you can work your way up if it's feeling like, I got this, my abs are so strong. Okay, so reach those arms overhead. Big inhale. And big exhale. We're going to curl it up, 1 vertebra at a time. Rolling it up. And now like you're slapping water, we're going to start pulsing those arms. And we inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. If you're like, this is easy, take those knees up. Inhale. Exhale. Keep going. What I want you to imagine is that as you breathe here, continue to draw your navel down toward your spine. Continue to find that scooping motion of the abdominal muscles and the shoulders curling up and over as if you're trying to sit up and over your rib cage here. Remember that if you are struggling with this in your neck, you can just lower the head down, place your feet on the floor, but keep the scoop of the belly and keep your arms pumping. You can also do this with a pillow or something behind the head like this as well. Keep going. We're going just a few more. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Last 2. Exhale. Last 1. And exhale. And bring it in. Pull the knees into the chest. Take a moment. What I love about hundreds and what they're made for is to really, they're made to really warm up our bodies, warm up our cores, and really get us ready for the next thing. Okay, so we're going to start rolling up 1 vertebra at a time. So from here, go ahead and bend your knees, place your feet on the floor. And we're going to do like a little creepy crawl up our own legs. So we're starting with the crown of the head, and we're going to peel, roll it up. Grabbing on the backs of the thighs, you can really help yourself here to isolate 1 vertebra at a time. And as you come up, we start to extend those legs, shooting energy out the legs. Once you're here, keep pulling the navel toward the spine. Reach those arms forward, 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 forward. As you reach forward, the opposition is that your belly is still pulling back. So it's less of like a forward stretch and more of this curve like you're hugging over a huge ball. And then we're going to slowly exhale, roll it back down. You want to help, Kiwi? Do you want to help? And reach those arms overhead. Return the knees to a bend. Inhale. And exhale, we begin our roll. One vertebra at a time, crawling up those legs. Nice and slow and controlled. Imagine lifting one vertebra at a time up off the floor. Reaching forward, we want to reach through the arms as the belly button pulls back toward the wall. And rolling it back down. We should feel energy reaching out the legs. The pelvis is tucking as we roll, lengthening through the limbs, and return it. And we have one more here. Inhale and exhale, rolling it up. Driving the navel to the spine. You can help with those arms as much as you need on your legs here. And peel, roll it back down. Beautiful. I find those to be very challenging personally. Okay, we're going to take a little roll over now. So our legs are going to go up to the sky and together. If this is a tough position for you, just go ahead and give your knees a slight bend here. And we're going to push the arms into the floor and slowly roll our pelvis up off the floor. And imagine your toes pointing straight out. So watch out that they're not going to like a plow with the toes to the floor, but think of them reaching out parallel to the ground. You're going to open up your legs about shoulder width, and then we're going to slowly roll it back down, one vertebra at a time. I was making sure I wasn't going to kick a puppy. Good, legs are going to come together. You're going to lower them as low as you can, and then again, exhale, peel, roll it up. Finding parallel to the ground. Inhale, open up those legs. And exhale, peel, roll it back down. Keeping the connection of the navel toward the spine. Inhale. And exhale, we have one more here. Peel, rolling it up. Finding that stretch through the legs, really reach arms, legs open. We want to be resting on the base of the shoulders and not crunching the neck too much here. You don't want to crunch the neck. I said too much. Just don't crunch your neck. Okay, and then hug those knees into the chest. Place your feet down on the floor. And take your right leg, you're going to extend it up to the sky. Here's a great point where if you have a strap and you need it, go ahead and grab that strap. Yeah? Placing it over the tops of those toes, and we're just going to give a gentle pull in for a nice little stretch. This is the time to pet a puppy. Take a nice deep breath, and I want you to imagine length, pulling up and out through the heel and pressing down through your hip. I do not care how far in your leg goes. I want you to actually imagine lengthening the back of the leg instead. Pulling the toes down toward you. We're breathing deeply. One more breath here. And then carefully release that off. We're just going to stay on this side. So keep the leg up to the sky. Release. You can just set your strap down beside you. And we're going to start with tiny little circles. Now, as you draw circles here with your leg, I want you to actually imagine the movement. These can go slow. The movement is coming from our low pelvic floor muscles. So if you want, I like to place my hands like in a little V on my pelvis. And we want to feel these low, deep muscles working as we draw that circle. The circle doesn't need to be big. You can imagine like you're drawing the size of a dinner plate on the ceiling. And then go ahead and reverse that circle, going the other direction. Your leg, if it's really tough, again, to be up at 90 degrees here, just take a slight little bend. Where we're rotating from is the top of that leg, so where the femur is inserting into the hip. One more circle here. And then go ahead and bend that knee down and set it down to the floor. We'll switch sides. So other leg up, flex the foot, and drawing that heel up, hip bone down. Again, you can find a little anchor here with your hand. So pressing down with your hand. And again, this is your time to breathe or play, whatever you need. Go get it. Go get it. Nice big breath here. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. And go ahead and take that strap off. Extend the leg straight up, anchoring the hip. And again, we're going to do small little circles with that leg. Inhaling and exhaling. Imagine engaging through the low abdominals in order to circle the leg. And reverse your circle, drawing that dinner plate on the ceiling. So thinking about, I like to think of laser beams. So if you imagine a laser beam is shooting out your toes, and it's really helping you encourage length in your leg. One more circle. And then set that foot back down on the floor. Good. From here, we're going to go ahead. You guys can stay on the ground. Sorry, I had to look at what was next. Boop, boop, boop. We're going to do little tree trunk walk-ups. So take your first leg extended to the sky. Again, if you need that slight bend, take that. Otherwise, nice straight leg. And we're going to walk up our leg like we're climbing up a tree trunk. So we're going to reach one hand up, next hand up. Imagine the rib cage driving down toward the ground. We keep walking up the leg, and as you continue to walk up, imagine the belly button hollowing down. So abs are going opposite the leg. So as you go up, your belly's pulling down even further. And then we walk it back down. 4, 3, 2, and we lower. We go up. 2, 3, and 4, and down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, 4, up. 2, 3, 4. You can use that pressure of the leg to help you drop the shoulders and drive your abs down into the ground. 4, 3, 2. Last one. We go up. 2, 3, 4. Down. 6, 7. And switching sides. Other leg up to the sky. And we roll it up. We go up. 2, 3. Give a nice pull and a down. 2, 3, 4. Again, if that knee is bent, that's totally fine. You're just going to keep walking and pulling yourself up, driving your navel to your spine. Your leg is almost acting like an anchor. So your leg shouldn't move as you climb up it. It's actually pressing oppositionally away from the body to help you here. We have one more. Curling up. 2, 3, and 4, and down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And rest your foot down on the floor. Excellent job. Tuck your knees into your chest. We're going to do a little curl up. Last little core thing here for now. We're going to extend the arms and the legs out. So it doesn't matter the angle. The higher the angle, the easier. The lower the angle, the more difficult this becomes. So choose what's right for you. We've curled up. Grab onto those shins. Really help yourself lift high. Relax the shoulders in the front of the neck as much as you can. Inhale, reach everything out. And then you're going to take an exhale. Arms are going to circle, and you're going to imagine scooping to pull it back in. Drive those knees into the belly. And again, inhale, reach out. Exhale, pull in. And inhale, out. And exhale, pull. Keep squeezing those legs together. 2 more. Inhale, reach. Big circle again. Exhale, pull. Try to make the body move together here. Last one, synchronized movement. Inhale and exhale, pull. We are all synchronized swimmers. Good, relax the head back on the floor. Rock your head side to side. Try to relax out your neck if it got any tension in there. Okie dokie. We are going to roll like balls. So when you're a ball, you are not a plank. Planks go like this, poof, into the ground. And we want to roll very nicely. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. What you can think of here is really thinking about that connection of the belly button down toward the spine and that little pelvic tuck here. So grabbing on behind the thighs, we're going to find a little position, and I want you to just start by finding a baby rock. So where we're going to be rocking is from the mid-spine to the low spine. And then I want you to make that rock go a little bit bigger. And see if you can make it up to your tailbone or your sit bones. And find a little balance at the top. And then we'll roll it back. Whoop, and then back to the top. When you find the top when you're seated, imagine lengthening your spine. And then in order to start the roll, think about rounding, driving your navel to your spine, tucking in the pelvis, allowing your tailbone to scoop under. We're going to try to keep those toes floating. Keep trying on your own time. It doesn't matter how fast you go. Remember not to crunch your neck. So you never want to go so high up onto your back that you're crunching the neck. I just realized I'm moving my mat all over the place, y'all. Keep going. And then find yourself in a seated balance. So we're going to find ourselves seated up. And then open out those legs and find a little butterfly position and lean it forward. Nice big breath. Wherever that lean is for you. If you want, you can encourage a little stretch down on your knees by pressing with your elbows. Okay, we're going to do another little roll. Very similar, but we're going to change the body position. So instead of rolling here, we got a treat, guys. Whoop. We're going to grab the ankles. So grabbing onto the inner ankles here. Your knees are open as if they're in a butterfly, and the spine is lengthening. So we're actually allowing for a little bit more space for our torso to sit up high, which is nice. And same idea. You want to find the connection between the legs and the arms, just like we did in our tree trunk climbs. So we're going to round at the back, we roll it, and then we roll it back up, find a seated balance. Let's do that a couple more times. Round and roll back up. Now if you feel really good here, there is an extra challenge, and that is to extend your legs. And it's the same thing. You're trying to keep the same distance, whoop, and you might fall over, and that's okay. Keep the same distance of the arms and legs. Yeah, so the legs are never pressing closer to the torso. Do a couple more rolls in your chosen position. And as you're rolling, again, just each time finding a little bit of a challenge. Maybe you try the next position up, and if you're still on just the tiny tuck roll, that's totally fine. So finding wherever you need to be, we're not competing, so it's all good wherever you are. Let's go ahead and find ourselves back up and seated, and we're going to move into some twists. So twisting our spine is very nice. I just have to keep track of time here. Okay. Take your legs out in front of you. Now, here's a place and your legs can go out from there. If this is a really terrible position for your hip flexors, you can also take your legs to a little diamond shape like this. And this can all be done just seated as well. So choose where you want to be. This is kind of a nice position. It's not a butterfly where it's really close, but it's actually elongated out, so the legs are closer to being almost all the way straight. Okay, so choose that position. If your legs are out in front of you, I like to flex my feet so I can see them. And again, I want you to place your hands on your hips and imagine your hips are being encased in concrete. So they're going to be very, very stable. Take your arms, reach them out to the sides. What you want to watch out for, and I'll show this here with my feet, hopefully you can see it, is this. I call this gas pedaling, right? And it's as if I'm like pressing with my heels. 1, 1, 1, 1. So my hips are moving on the floor. We want to avoid the hips moving. So take those arms out to the sides. Nice big inhale. And then exhale, we're going to find a twist here. So we're going to lift tall through the spine, close the ribs in the front, and twist one direction. Inhale, find yourself in center. And exhale, twist the other way. Inhale, center. As you're twisting, imagine that your waistband is like a rag and we're like wringing it out. So it should feel like you're getting taller as you twist. Inhale, center. A couple more. Exhale, lift to twist. Crown of the head reaching up, tailbone anchoring down. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Couple more. Using that breath, searching for the length of your spine. Last set. And last one. Good. Drop those arms, roll your shoulders back. Let's go ahead and roll it over. You're going to find yourself on your belly next. Okay, so we're going to work on some little double leg kick or mermaids. Squeeze your legs nice and tight together. Take your hands and you're going to clasp them behind your back. If you can't clasp them like this, interlacing your fingers, you can also clap them together and just hold your own hands. Or you can use that strap or towel, whatever you have, and you can just hold that behind your back. So if this is a really tough position for your shoulders, we just want our hands to come together at some connection point. So hands together, and you're going to draw your hands up the back so the elbows are bent. The head can float straight forward. You're going to engage in your glutes, open up your hips. So squeeze your butt and push your hip bones into the floor. Bend your knees and you're going to kick your heels toward your butt. Now as you do this, watch out that you don't get this little gap in your hips like this. This is super over exaggerated, but you don't want to have your booty pressing up. We want to continue to think about pressing it into the floor to help stabilize here. We're going to do 3 little baby kicks to your hips. So we kick in 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to extend the arms and the legs together. And inhale, we go down 1, 2, 3. Exhale, press up. Inhale, squeeze, pulse 1, 2, 3. Exhale, press up, drawing those hands back toward the heels. Inhale, squeeze, press 1, 2, 3, and exhale up. Coming down, bend those knees, and I want you to interlace your fingers the other way if your hands are interlaced. Make sure your knees are squeezing together and your heels are kicking toward your butt nice and hard. Hip bones down, we kick 1, 2, 3. Exhale, press. Inhale, pulse 1, 2, 3. Exhale, press. 2 more, inhale, pulse. 2, 3. Exhale, press. Try to keep the back of the neck long. 3. Exhale, press. And lower it down. Good, reach your arms out long in front of you, legs out long. We're going to reach opposite arm and leg up. So once you're here, float the crown of your head, float your forehead off of the floor. So the head is just about 1 inch or 2 off the ground. The arms reach out, the legs are parallel and reaching out hip width apart. Draw your navel up toward your spine just slightly. And then we're going to, just to create that connection between the front and back body, we're going to lift opposite arm and leg up and lower down. And again, we're going to lift opposite arm and leg up and lower down. And we lift for 3 and down and 4 and trade sides. Lifting 1 and down. Really thinking about lengthening. 2, and down. 3, and down. And last one, lift 4, and down. First side lifts for 3, and down. And 2, and down. Lifting 1, and trading sides. Lift 1, lower. Keep driving the belly up toward the spine, and 3. And first side for 2, we lift 1, and lower, and lift 2. And trading sides. Lift 1, and lower, and 2. Keep the spine nice and long. Alternate sides, and lower, and lift, and lower. Couple more. We lift, and lower. Last one. Lift, and lower. Everything hovers up. And we're going to paddle like we're swimming. And as you swim, keep elongating your arms and legs. Keep the torso really stable. So if you start to notice that you're rocking on the hips, slow it down and reset yourself to start again. Keep going for 5, 4, encourage yourself to reach longer. 3, not higher, just longer. 2, and 1, lower it down. Place your hands under your shoulders. Go ahead and press it on to all fours. And we'll take a few cat-cows. So rounding out your spine. Really pressing the floor away with your hands. And then arching, bringing your navel down and your eyes up. And again, round it out. And arch. And we'll just do one more here. Round out the spine. And arch. Good. From here, you're going to move on to one knee. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see me on the mat here. We're going to come up to both knees. Knees are about hip width apart. We're going to lean over and plant the hand on the floor. Now, again, if this is a long way to reach, and so if you need a little help here, we're going to place the block beside us like this, and you can place your hand on that block. Otherwise, your hand can go off all the way to the floor. You want to imagine thinking of lifting up to go over, like you're drawing a rainbow with your side body. Press the hand into the ground and extend the other leg out long. Now this leg should be reaching straight out from the hip here. And we're encouraging our glute to work. So think of squeezing your butt and pressing your hip bones open in the front. Hand can go on the hips, stack those shoulders. And again, we're lifting up through the side body, so you should really feel your obliques working here. We're going to lift that leg. Inhale. Inhale, kick it toward the front. Then exhale and tap it down. And again, we inhale, lift, and front, and exhale, kick back, engage in the glute, and lower. Couple more. We lift and kick, using your breath, and exhale, and lower. Keep pressing the floor away with your bottom arm, and exhale, and down. One more. It's up, and front, and back, and tap. Good. We're going to change sides. So coming up, switching over. Think of lifting up to go over. Allow the fingertips to tap down. Extend the leg, hand on the hip. Rotate those shoulders so they're stacked one on top of the other. Squeeze the butt, opening up the front of the hip. And we lift the leg. Inhale and kick front. And exhale, kick back and tap. Again, it's lift and inhale and exhale. Really encourage the muscles to be long. Keep pushing the floor away. Inhale and exhale. I'm really sweating, you guys. I hope you are too. And up and front and back. Last one here. We lift up and front and back and tap it down. Good. Take that knee down. Go ahead and just press your hips to one side and reach to the other side. So stretching out the side body and actually allow your hips to fall off your heels. We're looking for a little stretch through that side hip area. Nice deep breath. And go ahead and walk it over, change sides. Reaching long, really encouraging the length through the side body here. Okay, and bring it back center. We've got one little plank or kneeling sequence that we're going to do. So if you're kneeling, this is going to be a little bit easier for the body, and otherwise we can be up in a plank, pressing here. So either way, if we're in this kneeling position, we're all going to start here, and I want you to imagine pressing into the floor as if your arms are pushing through the ground. You're growing roots into the ground. Opening up through the palms of the hands. Think of pushing that ground away. If you're going to stay here, just wait, and otherwise we'll set up for our plank. If we're setting up for our plank, extend one leg, squeeze in the back of the glute and the hip. Really press out through the heel. Keep the pressure in the hands, and then extend your second leg. And while you're here, I want you to really engage in the abdominals. Draw your navel up to your spine. And then we're finding some breath here. So as you inhale in through the nose, exhale out through the mouth, find that squeeze through the back body. And then find your abdominals drawing up, navel towards spine to help support your core here. And then we're going to lift one leg. I'll show this on the knees as well. We're going to lift the leg. We're going to extend the leg out. We lift it up and inhale, tap. And again, exhale, lift and inhale, tap. And if we're in a plank, we're doing the same thing. Exhale, lift and squeeze it down. And last one, lift and squeeze and lower. Other side, we lift it up, squeeze and tap. Again, lift up, navel to spine, squeeze and tap. Keep pushing the floor away. It's up and tap. And last one, lift and tap. And everyone come down to the knees and press back to a child's pose. Take a moment to roll out your wrists here. You can do this singular, or you could clasp them together and roll them like you're rolling a little meatball. Go the other way. Okay, I've got one more little sequence for us to do. It is a two-sider. So we're going to lie on one side of the body. And you can prop your head up with your hand like this, elbow like you're hanging out at the beach. Or you can lie all the way down and let your head lay on your bicep. I like to fold my hand over my ear because it makes me feel like, ooh, so fancy. So wherever you want to be, okay? From here, place your other hand in front of you, and you want to make sure that you're not rolled backward. So I can kind of show this facing the side. You might be able to see it a little better. I want to be straight up and down instead of rocked back like this. Now that's a huge exaggeration, but I want you to find that center position. Also watch out that you don't roll too far to the front. So we want to find the middle. You're stacking your hip bones one on top of the other. And then imagine drawing your waistband away from the floor. So we're pressing both, one hip on top, and then we're pulling the waistband off the floor. Turn out your feet, flex the feet, and press your toes into the floor with that standing leg. Then we're going to take the top leg, so keep that bottom leg in that external rotation. Your hand can stay on your hip really, really, really hard if you do that, or stay planted in front of you. So you choose your balance. Everybody take a little cup of tea, place it on your hip bone, don't spill the tea. Okay. Turn your top foot into parallel and lift it up to hip height. Nice straight leg. We're going to take an inhale to kick forward, staying parallel to the floor. And then exhale, we're going to squeeze and press back and point through the toes, staying parallel, squeeze in the glutes. And inhale, take it front. Try to keep your leg at the same height the whole time. Exhale, squeeze, press back. Watch out that the rib cage doesn't open and close here. We're trying to keep the abdominals engaged the same all the way through. We have two more. Inhale, take it front. And exhale, squeeze, press back. And last one, inhale, front. Bottom leg, nice and long, energy pressing back. Good, bring it to the center, turn out that top leg, and we're going to draw tiny circles here.
So you're thinking about going to the back, up, to the front, down, back, up, front, down. Now if you're like, Rachel, that is so easy, take your hand off the floor and try to balance. So we want to find, again, the engagement, just like we drew those little circles when we were lying on the back. We want that same sort of, reverse your circle. We want that same idea here where we're trying to not allow the body to shift. One more. Good, we're going to keep that leg nice and long and turned out. We're going to bend the knee, bring that toe up. Extend the leg, flex your foot at the top, and like you're squeezing and pressing your heels together, you're squeezing a big spring in. Try to get your inner thighs to engage as you do that. And we curl, lift, and flex, close. 2 more, bend and lift. Watch out that your waistband doesn't start to compress into the floor, but try to keep your hips even. Flex, squeeze, closed. And last one, bend it up. Extend and flex and squeeze and close. Just here. Take your top leg, kick it to the front. Take your back leg, kick it to the back. Bottom leg, kick it to the back. Your top arm is going to push into the floor. Now, here, this is going to be working our tricep and our obliques. So we're going to push into the ground with that base arm. You're going to push into the floor to sit up, work those obliques, and then slowly lower halfway. And push, and halfway down. And push, and a 3. And push. If you can't grab your side, just take your hand and go wherever you can. It can even go on the floor to help assist. We're going to take 2 more. And press, and last one, down, and push. Good, take the hand, push yourself around, and we trade sides. Guess what? Second side, same thing. Here we go. Hand underneath the head, or let your head rest on your bicep. Finding the top of your hips, again, making sure you're not rocking back or rocking forward, but right up on the top. And then draw your waistband away from the floor. So we're trying to stack the hips on top of one another and not let our waist relax into the ground. Turn out the bottom foot, squeeze in the glutes, and then go ahead and take that top leg and parallel it up, lift it up to hip height, flex the foot. We inhale, kick it front, parallel, and exhale, squeeze, kick, point, and inhale, kick front, and exhale, kick back. Inhale and exhale, really looking for a smooth, controlled movement as much as you can. Inhale front and exhale back. Try to relax your shoulders out of your ears. I just noticed mine were up there last time. Kicking back. Take that leg center, turn it out, little baby circles. We start drawing. And as you draw those circles, really thinking about keeping the rest of the body stable. So it's just the leg moving. And that doesn't mean that other muscles aren't working. They definitely are. We just have to trade which ones are working when to keep us stable. And reverse, other way. Little baby circles. You're loving it. It's great. You're almost done. Last one. Finding center, bend the knee, toe to knee, extend the leg. Watch out that the waistband doesn't press into the floor. Flex, squeeze, close. Again, bend, extend, and as you flex the foot, imagine the energy shooting out through the heel, elongating your legs. 2 more, bend, extend, flex, squeeze. Last one, it's bend, extend, flex, squeeze, and take your top leg, bring it front, take your bottom leg, bring it back. Top arm goes in front beside the shoulder, bottom arm is going to wrap underneath and grab on wherever you can, and then we're pressing up through that top arm. 1, and lower halfway, and up, and down, and 3, and down, 4, and down, 2 more, 5, and down, last one, a 6, and down. We're going to press up, plant your hand, and take it up to seated. Good, everybody. We're going to finish with just a little breath for a moment. So I want you to take yourself into child's pose. Open up your knees a little bit if you want. Walk your hands forward. Let your forehead rest on the floor here. If it's not comfortable with the arms forward, you can also take them back. If you're not comfortable in this position at all, go ahead and lay all the way down on your back. So whatever position feels best to you, we're just going to take a few breaths here. I want you wherever you are, even if you're seated upright, close the eyes. Take a moment. You're going to inhale in through your nose. Feel your lungs expand. Exhale out the nose. Just thanking yourself for this little bit of time you got to take. Inhale in through the nose. And exhale out the nose. Feeling if your body feels any different. Maybe a little sweaty. Maybe a little less tight in some places. Maybe you feel exactly the same, but maybe your mind feels just like it got to release a little bit. Maybe you just really like the puppy, coming in and out of the video. Whatever it is, I want you to take that. Just take one more big inhale. And nice big exhale. And thank you all for joining me. Yeah, super fun. There are more live stream classes happening with A-WOL. Check them out. And if you have questions for me, or if there's things that you like that we are doing and you're planning to keep taking classes, feel free to message me and let me know. And I'll try to add it in and stuff, okay? All right. Thank you so much. You are awesome. Bye. Ooh.